Uncle Mez.
And now I'm man like Larry.
We've been chilling since nappies and baggies.
Different cultures, we learn from each other.
Had a few scraps, never turned on each other.
Been through a lot, I don't know where to start.
So grab yourselves a drink and come and have a laugh.
Come on.
Forget the bird, man. Let's go. You always on road in this bird. Let's go, man.
You're on a long one.
Taking long, man. Let's go.
Funny. Let's go, man.
Yes, people, welcome to the Uncle Mez and Larry show. Uncle Mez here, man like Larry, back with another episode for you lot. Told you lot, gonna keep it consistent and keep them every week for you lot, man. We had a nice guest last episode. This time we got one of my people on. He's my little nephew. He's known on the socials as Rico. You can follow him. He's got Rico Fitness as well. And yeah, man, he's a special young man. So, you know, we thought it's only right to bring him on and get him to talk about his journey, because he's done a lot of stuff in his young life. So, you know, we thought we'd bring him on here and get him to talk about a few things that he does get up to, because he's Leicester based. We're in Leicester. And yeah, man, we're going to try and get as many people that are in the community on the podcast, in and around Leicester, Midlands, and, you know, keep it homegrown as well, you know what I mean? As much as we'll have people from all over the place, man. We're not going to neglect the people that are local to us. So, yeah, man, big him up and welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me. So, before we do anything or I say anything, I'll go into my journey. I just want to say a big respect to you two, because if anybody's going to be watching this and you think your journey is at a roadblock, or you feel like you're too old to do something, or you feel like you won't make it.
Oh, whoa. What you hold on, brother.
We're starting it off like that.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, you're not too old to be doing this.
What are you trying to say? Don't make me get up, bro. What are you saying?
They right around the corner from me. They're only a couple of years older than me. You feel me? But
Load it back in.
But yeah, like for anybody who's, you know, doing something or on their hustle, on their grind, you know, and feel like they can't make or they feel like they've got too many obstacles in life. These two are prime examples that obstacles ain't nothing. Ain't no road bump or no speed bump that can stop you. It might slow you down for a minute, but
hey, listen, my people, man, hold on, whoa. He's trying to make man feel ancient. Hey, cuz, hey, yo, fall back, brother. Yo, bro, you get me?
How old are you?
Older than me, cuz.
Me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I just turned 23.
Yeah, so you're young, man.
Oh, blood. Yo, man, got over a decade, but yo. Hey, cuz, listen. Let's do this. Let's wrap it up. Let's do this, my bro. So, Rico, my brother, man, I appreciate you coming down today. Yeah, my brother, man, let's kickstart this, man. You know, the Uncle Mez and Larry show. Let's kickstart this. Let's take it all the way back from the beginning, my bro, man. Like your childhood, growing up, and start from there, my brother.
So, in terms of my childhood, I'm gonna have to get my uncle to kind of give me some facts on the childhood, because I was born in London. Whereabouts in London was I? I was born in Northwick Park, but do you know which area I grew up in?
St. Raph's.
St. Raph's.
Oh, St. Raph's?
Yeah, that's where he was born. Yeah, he was. I don't know. He was probably there. I was young myself, but he was there for a few years. I want to say.
Yeah.
I know you left. The yard that I went to.
Yeah.
Was that his yard?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, even I've been there.
Yeah.
So
they used to live in Raph's, but yeah, you was either born. You said Norfolk Park and
Norfolk Park. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what he's
from. One
from
baby.
there,
So that was me. So I grew up in London, and then I moved over to LC when I was probably about maybe no older than probably 5 or 6 years old, and been there ever since, trying to figure out this thing called life ever since then, you know. I was always kind of a kid who was kind of adventurous, I'd say, but not always in terms of always being outside too much, but also kind of adventurous in my own life, you know, trying to figure out who I wanted to be, but why I wanted to be that type of person, you know. So growing up, I was always quite an athletic, sporty kid, you know. I grew up playing football from a very, very young age, you know, and like every kid's dream, they wanted to play for their team, which for me is Tottenham, but you know, everyone's got their own teams that they support.
Why did you look at me?
No.
But yeah, and then, you know, being kind of confused as you grow up in life, because, you know, me and Uncle Mez, we come through a culture, we come through, you know, a type of community where, you know, trying to push the needle or put your hat in boxes, or, you know, trying to do something that's kind of against the grain is kind of looked down upon, almost kind of looked like why are you doing that when here's 8 options that have already been planned for you and have already succeeded for you? You know, those questions as a young child, looking at that and thinking, I don't want to fit those blueprints of what should be laid out for me instead of trying to create my own. So growing up for me was kind of like a very interesting time, because although, you know, I wanted to be somebody, you know, somebody more than what the status quo could suggest, you know, being how we grew up, you know.
It's almost like you're not allowed to.
Yeah, it's almost like...
I'm getting, so you're not allowed to try be who you want to be. You have to be a mirror of someone else.
What they want you to be.
Like I said, like there's probably 8 boxes that we were told to fit in.
Yeah,
Probably less than that.
Probably less.
Yeah.
The 8 boxes.
Probably less than that. And if you ain't one of those, then you kind of looked about like...
What are you going to do with your life?
Yeah. So how old was you then when you started having those kind of aspirations in life? How old was you?
I was as little as probably like 7, 8, and I knew growing up that I wasn't ever gonna fit in any of those 8 boxes. But it was just trying to convince the people around me it's okay that this kid's something different, and I didn't know what that different was. I'm still trying to figure it out now, but I think within the last couple of years I've kind of like created my own lane, you know, and I think that's really, really important. And I think hopefully there's a kid out there or there's somebody out there who kind of takes that as like, you know, doesn't matter what, you know, your parents may suggest or what the people around you may suggest. Remember, at the end of the day, they only want what's best for you, right? And so don't ever take it as them trying to hold you in, but also see it as that you should be proud of yourself because you can see outside of what is around you. So for me, I knew from a very young age that I was going to try to put my name in so many different hats and just hope eventually something will stick for me. So growing up, it was sports. You know, I'd say I was quite a talented athlete. You know, growing up, you know, I played at a decent level.
Playing football. I
played football,
okay.
And then made a transition.
Any main teams or just a normal football team?
I played at a good level, Saturday League. I played at a good level on step. If you understand the step system.
No.
Yeah. So in football, there's Sunday League.
Yeah.
But then there's Saturday League, which is it's a level above. It's a lot more competitive than that.
Okay.
So I played at that level. I wouldn't ever say I was ever gonna make it pro, but you know, I always tried my best to like try and get as far as I can. I could say.
So what so for example, let me just go back a little sec. So you wanted to do football. So you was doing football, but your family was against you doing those kind of things to chase your dreams. So did you get in trouble by your parents for doing things that you wasn't supposed to do because they wanted you to be something that was already written for? If you understand what I mean?
I think it was a unique balance, right? Because if I look at my father, right? My father is a trailblazer. Your father's a trailblazer. They left the country. They left a base to go create a new base, right? 100%. So my father could never look at me and call me rebellious because I could say to him, you did the same thing, no? You left home. You tried to put your name in a different hat. So I feel like my father always kind of respected that. That I was always going to try and be different. And in his way, he always kind of looked at me with a sense of pride that, you know, my son's trying to try something different, right?
Different, yeah.
My mum was kind of... See, my mum grew up with Uncle Mez, so then they kind of had a similar lifestyle where you kind of see life in a different way. She grew up in London, so she kind of seen the good and bad of what life can bring, right? And I think for more it was her, it was kind of like the protection of, I want my son to be successful, you know? And I can never blame my mum for that, but now she's 100% on board with everything I'm doing. So I do quite a few number of things, and she's always the first one on the team sheet. But I think
she's supportive, man.
Yeah, but
100%.
Obviously naturally, the way growing up, like in your episode as well, growing up the way you lot grew up, you know, having that, you know, that sense of going outside and seeing what's outside is, you know, naturally all you want to do as a parent is to protect your child, right?
100%.
So,
did you find, like, you see, like what you're saying about, because with me, because like your mum's still a bit different. She kind of understood. Your dad was a little bit different compared to like my parents. But like with my parents, they just never took anything else serious. Like I said, if you're not willing to apply yourself to them 8 pockets that they expect you to sit in, anything else that you wanted, like for example, like when you said you wanted to play football, like I don't know, did you find like your mum and dad didn't take it serious?
I think my parents were like, I didn't grow up with much, right? I kind of grew up, I don't really have much growing up, but sports was something that like, it kind of took me out the house, right? And it kept me busy.
Yeah, but did they support that?
Yeah, so my parents were big on me being in sports because it was either, all right, the kid's either going to be in sport or he's going to get in trouble outside.
Yeah,
you know, and
so they did the coming to the away games.
Yeah.
Okay,
My mom would stay behind, you know, from school, take me from school to football practice. You know, that's another full-time job, you know, because I wouldn't finish till 7 p.m. maybe some nights, 6 p.m. getting home, feeding me, showering me, putting me to sleep, and then rinse and repeating that process.
Work again.
And I think they were so supportive of it because they felt like, you know, at least he's not in trouble, you know. And where I grew up, and you know, like my friends around me, the people I kind of grew up with, you know, they kind of went a direction, and I didn't ever want to go that direction. So for me, it was kind of, I enjoyed the sport aspect, and my parents kind of encouraged it because it showed that it was a positive reinforcement, right? 100%. We're in a day and age where, even like now, I'd say like...
That would have played a massive part in who you are today because you had that structure in your life.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Whereas instead of you just being left to your own devices, go outside, doors open, don't know what you're getting up to, don't know who you're around, don't know who you're getting influenced by. Do you understand? Whereas going to football, having that structure, mum and that taking you, bringing you back home, whatnot, burning that energy, that all plays a big part.
Most definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think it was a blessing, you know, because at that time, you know, being young and being you're like a sponge when you're a kid, right? Anything you see, you want to do.
Of course.
You see somebody doing
anything you like, you want to do. Innit?
Anything that looks
see that,
cool,
of course.
you want to do it.
Yeah.
And for me, I think my parents kind of like limited that exposure to certain things, and they kind of exposed me to like sport, but also not sport, like music and, you know, dance and, you know, being creative, you know. And I think I was never going to grow up and be, you know, a corporate person. I don't think that was made for me, right? I was kind of, you know, I've got tattoos all over my body. I've got face tattoos. I kind of knew that from a young age I was going to be like that. But I think that creative side and allowing me to be creative, especially in, like I said, from the community that we're being creative is kind of almost like, that's a side thing. Don't worry about that. Focus on the books. That you can do that after.
100%.
But for me, it was a lucky situation where it was the flip round, where it was like, yeah, no, I'll do it. Like, go on, if you want to dance, like I enjoy dancing. Like, I enjoy, you know, even like music. I was a big fan of music growing up. You know, like, you know about the playlist that my mom be bumping. You know, and we have that playing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, come on, man. They grew up in refs, bro.
All style proper.
Come on, man.
So listening to that on a Saturday morning.
Well, Vicks don't listen to nothing but Bash. Obviously, now it's probably different, but
and having that exposure to like that creative side, I think was so like important in my development as a kid. But also, it also left me with more questions than answers. You know, because I felt like, because I was exposed to so much, it was like, whoa, like, there is an endless possibility of what I could do, but what am I going to do? You know? If that makes sense.
It's because you see what it is, yeah? You're coming from a very stuck in the times culture. We're still attached to that. Do you understand? And for people that don't know, we're a certain type of culture of Gujaratis. We're Mer, we're Rajput Mirs, and we're very traditional people. We come from farming background. You know, they're very simple people. So it's traditional values that they kind of live and die by. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's all good and well having them, but they don't. You can't apply them to the day and age that we live in today. And you're coming from, like your mum and your dad still probably felt pressure from our community and the way we're supposed to be to do right by you, by their standards of doing right by you. Whereas with me now, I'm the generation that I'm not doing with my kids or raising my kids to the standards of what our society expect us, how they expect us to raise them. Do you understand? I've made sure that I've raised my kids with the morals of our culture, understanding like they love taking part in everything. Do you know what I mean? But also, I haven't deprived them of how to excel in the world that we live in. Do you understand? And that's why I asked you, like, you know, were they supportive of taking you to football and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my parents never took me nowhere to do nothing like that. Because, like I said, you know, if you're not in them, one of them 8 things that they, you know, then you're not. They can do that serious. They're not taking you serious. Do you get me? So I just think that, you know, you're doing well to be where you are, even though you went through that battle, because it would have been hard for your mum more so than your dad, because your mum was the one that kind of like understood more. Do you know what I mean? Of things over here. Do you know what I mean? So you went through that, and I kind of understand, because obviously we got other nephews that are your age and stuff and been through things as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of them went down a bad path. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that any of them are bad people,
No.
because none of them are bad people. Just went down a bad path. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank God, come back onto good paths. But it's sad sometimes to know that someone has to go down that path. Do you know what I mean? Being such a young age and that. You know what I mean? So
Let
I
me
do
ask
hear
you a
where you're
question.
coming from.
Honest question. Do you think, and for those who do know, some of you new viewers will never know, or maybe you might get to know. Do you think our family pushed the status quo the furthest? Do you think all of us are kind of different in our own ways, compared to what our society, what our community would suggest us? I think our family is very different.
Yeah, our family is a bit like within our
In our circle,
in our culture.
I feel like we've pushed the needle the furthest. I'd say so.
Yeah. In our culture and in our within our community, 100%, and that was like from young.
That was before me.
Yeah,
In
that
my
was
generation.
from,
That was
you
your
know what I mean?
generation as well. Trying different things and being different, and I think that's
But
the
you know
credit.
what? Let me just quickly just say something. I guess that's where sometimes that's where things can lead to, innit? Because for example, Mezzo, for example, he's teaching his kids a certain way, but they're gonna grow up to have their own beliefs and their own things and all of that. There, and the next generation and the next generation. You know, like sometimes our parents, you see, like the way that they do certain things. Yeah, sometimes man have to acknowledge their things proper still, because brother, our society's messed up. Do you understand? Like reality is, I'm gonna try to keep it PG and try to keep it a bit real as well, man. Our society is messed up. Because when is it ever gonna stop? Does that make sense? When is it ever gonna stop? If man keep challenging what the elders beforehand have put in the blueprint for beforehand, brother, 100 years from now, blood, everything's ruined. Because everybody wants to live. All right, cool. I want to live a little bit, man. Understand that, but you know, like when I look at it, yeah, like where does it stop? Like, do you understand? Like, man want to change this, change that. Now want to rebel against it. Because it's a rebellious thing as well at the end of the day. Because man want man's own thing. So whether man's parents are saying, nah, yo, I want you to go to school, do this, do that. Like me and Uncle Mez, for example, our parents did want right for us. But brother, we chose to do the wrong thing and rebel against everything. Now we believe that we can know a little bit better than like different ways. But really and truly, our parents come from a real hard working, different kind of structure. Like that's why the elders before us are stronger than the man them and how man move.
You think?
And does that make sense? See, like youths now are soft compared to, you see, like these fake bad boys now, for example, they're soft compared to our generation. And then the generation before that was a bit stronger and more stauncher. And this is where it's evolving to right now. Do you understand that with the rebellious thing? But I do hear what you're saying. I just want to just put it out there because we've got viewers watching. And everybody's got there's two sides to the coin. Do you understand? Yeah, parents say this, that, the other. But sometimes, you know, it's like now when I look at it, I wish I looked at Mumsy's thing a little bit more. So, you understand? Like, because Mumsy didn't really know too much, but she didn't really want a blueprint. She didn't really want the... What's wrong with you? Wiz, you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright, man. How are you? Oh, I was just telling you, like.
Oh, do you know what I completely forgot? What?
Let me tell you a quote that I read. So for the viewers that don't, I'm an avid reader. I think reading is important. I think in our generation, I think everyone should read a book.
I love it. Too.
And even if it's not a book about business or finance, just read a book about yourself. Like try to learn more about you. And if you don't, I feel like everyone should. It's a forgotten art. Reading, pick up a book. That's the best advice I can give to anybody. But there's a quote I read, and you talked about rebellion, right? And in the quote it said, "The reasonable man persists on adapting himself to the world. The unreasonable man persists on adapting the world to him. Therefore, all progress relies on the unreasonable man." Does that make sense?
Man. Yeah, but that's my man. What's his name? 1 minute. Hold on.
That's radical.
I'll tell you who it is, but carry on. Yeah.
So for me, I think as much as we have to, and I think at the core human ability, you have to respect the elders, right?
100%.
But you'd be doing a disservice to the elders if you didn't rebel. And now let me tell you.
No, I do get what you're saying. But go on, explain yourself.
Because we live in a society today, and this is my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I just want mine, you know. And I feel like we're in a society today where everyone is trying to be the reasonable man, trying to adapt themselves to what the world looks at, right? There's very few people out there, men, women, they, them, whatever, that are persistent on.
Nothing.
Gotta include everybody.
Everyone. That's why I didn't even say anything. Just, you know what I mean? Everybody.
There's not many unreasonable people who are willing to like push the status quo. Like for me, one of my biggest inspirations as I grow up is people like, you got Malcolm X, you've got a Bumpy Johnson, if you don't know who Bumpy Johnson is, you've got people like that who are real radicals, real people who pushed a society's question, pushed to give an answer. And I think we're in a society today where there's not enough rebellious people in terms of, trying to present something new.
But you know what it is? With that is a bit different, because he wasn't so much rebelling, because he also it's, do you know what, like, knowledge is powerful, isn't it? Do you know, and then one's there, and a lot of people do need a leader in a sense to lead that kind of thing, because some people do lack in confidence and things like that. So I do get certain ways of how people do certain things, but hindsight is a beautiful thing. I was going to say something, but go on, carry on.
So I feel like when it comes to like you saying you should always respect the elders, but rebelling against them is also probably the best thing to do, because if our parents never rebelled, we wouldn't be here. We'll still be back at home.
But you know what it is? Our parents, for example, look, my brother, I don't come from this country. I'm probably the only person in this room here that ain't even got a flipping red passport. So, my brother, like, this is the reality. Our parents come here, whatever, change colour now, innit? So I don't even know, it's not my country. But anyway, it's not my country, but like,
get him out of here.
You know what I mean, yeah?
Get rid of him.
This, I wasn't born here.
Taking my job.
I wasn't born here, but at the same time it goes like this. At the same time it goes like this. Why did your family come to this country? Because this is the West. You come and destroy something somewhere else, we're going to come here. So for example, why did my mum and my family come here? Because this is England. Do you know one thing is this? In society it goes like this. What did they teach you in India? English. Why do you think you could just go to an Indian person not to speak English straight away? You go to, like, nowadays it's even more advanced, because there's more villages that even talk English now. So we genuinely didn't know how to speak a word of English when we came to this country. Genuinely, not even hello. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, but what my parents did know back then was there's a better. The grass is greener over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
now I'm talking facts. The grass is greener over there. You lot made our grass pink. We're coming over to that green grass.
You made it brown.
This is why, hence is the reason why a lot of people, brother, they walk the Euro tunnel. to come here. To come here. They walked the Euro
No,
tunnel.
that guy was walking over
No,
there.
many people.
There was one guy who was walking over there.
Look, bro, this
Sure
is
he
England.
was.
Man will sit in a boat,
Yeah, risk their life.
risk their lives to come here.
Yeah,
Rebellious.
It's not rebellion. It's to have a better life.
yeah.
Do you understand? Because
Rebelling would have
is
been
something-
staying in their own
it's
country
staying
and
in their own
fighting for a
country
better
and-
life
and-
there.
Do you understand? Like,
That's what rebellion would have
Remember, my
been.
brother, yeah, it goes like this. You see, one thing with knowledge, my brother, yeah, we're all knowledgeable guys, and we all. One thing I do is we draw forth one from another. So I don't learn from myself. Do you understand? I learn from the likes of people like yourself, Mez, people around me, things I see, witness, and I'm educated too. When you're saying about books, I love books as well. I used to, like I said, I used to win competition. That's what I'm going backwards. Let me go forwards. I love books too. I done 13 years in jail, so you could imagine how many books I read. How many times I've done segregation unit, which is block and read books. That's normal for man. I love books. But rebelling is okay in a sense, depending on what kind of style it is. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, our parents, yours, mine, Mez's, whatever, they didn't come here rebelling against the others. They came here, brother, yo, the grass is greener on that side. What? My kids? Go over there. Go. And that's what it is, for a better life. You get me? Because remember, the Queen's head, oh yeah, now it's going to be the King's head. It's a lot, you know. You know, and remember, before man come here, there's always communication, letters, a little phone call maybe here and there. Like, yo, do you know what this country's about? What, England? You lot get here. See you. Go to that boat, that plane. And I came on a banana boat. No, I'm joking. But go on, my brother, man.
So yeah, no, 100%. Everything you were saying there was like.
But what I want to know, how was your studies? Because now you do fitness, and how was your studies and that, man? Like, because you know, with you, Rico, I'm trying to limit certain things because you're very advanced as well, you know, like, you understand?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're very
that's
advanced.
That's a nice compliment. I appreciate that.
But not more advanced than me. No, I'm joking. But go on, Rico, man.
My studies?
Yeah, tell me about your studies, about like, because I know you've been through certain things. So now you're older, let's say you're secondary school, you're doing your GCSEs. What was life for you like within that kind of period now?
So let's just say year 9, year 10, year 11. You know, still playing football, still enjoying that. But you know, I always wanted to get good education because not only the power does it give, but also, you know, for my parents. You know, they don't work really hard for me to get an
go to
education.
school and get an education,
you know,
of course.
And I just wanted to give to them. That was my way of giving back to them. You know. If any like kids watching this, you know, and I was never a big fan of school, but I still knew the value of school because, you know, your parents worked really hard, you know, to give you that life, to even just to get to school, you know, have you sat in a class. There's a lot that your parents do behind the scenes so you're able to do that.
Trust me.
So even if you ain't doing it for you,
Every
do
day.
it for your parents, you know. They work hard. They wake up before you wake up. They have to adjust their whole day around just making sure you get to school, you have food at lunch, you come home, you have something to do, you know. So if you're thinking, I hate school, I don't want to do this, that, just think about how much effort your parents are putting into that, or whoever your legal guardian, you know, because that's important, you know. And I figured that out like late. I figured it out when I was in like year 10. Like, okay, like my parents are actually putting in.
And it don't last for long. School finishes quick.
It's
man.
like that. You know,
Yeah, school finishes quick.
Exactly.
Man. So stay in school, man. Pay attention, kids, and you know,
most definitely. And
make your mum and dad happy. You get me? Even if you can't make them proud, yeah, like just go into school and actually giving effort. Like all of my kids are different, innit? Do you know what I mean? I know which ones are academically smart, and you know what I mean. Which ones ain't like as smart as the other.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But as long as they try, and I know, and I can see that they're trying. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
100%.
Do you understand?
And I think for a lot of you lot, in year 10, 11, 12, 13, because you're right around that corner of now, okay, what does the next couple of years look like for you? Use school as an example to see how much are you willing to graft for something. Because I always say, school is a graft that nobody wants to do, but everyone has to do, right? So if you're able to do that,
And succeed.
Yeah,
Imagine
imagine the amount of effort and how easy and how fun it's going to be when you're doing something that you want to do. You know?
Yeah, you got a good chance.
For me, I'm in a situation now where, you know, I create content, you know, I model, you know, I've got my own fitness stuff going on, you know, and that's everything I want to do. So that graft that I put into that, you know.
How did you get into your fitness? What enticed you to want to train others? Like, because you do a lot around training and training others and this, that, and the other, and you use the pyramid. And
I think the biggest thing is, I think at first when I first started, I was quite, I'd say, naive. I just wanted to help people physically. But then I started to see the mental benefits of helping somebody, you know. For some people, they don't care about how their body actually looks. But that hour that you give them and they're sweating, that euphoria that they get, no drug, no drink, no food, no anything could give them that happiness. You know, you lot have been in the gym. When you've hit that set where...
And it feels good.
And it feels like you can't get that 10 second of euphoria. It's probably so crucial to somebody's mental health that any physical impact you're making to them, nothing, you know. And I started to see that mental side, and I started to see that, you know, people were coming to train with me not because of the way they wanted to look, it's because the way the gym was making them feel. They were able to crush things outside of the gym.
Yeah, but that's just because when you're training, you're releasing dopamine from your brain and loads of chemicals that get released, which a lot of people call it a happy drug.
Yeah.
Gets released into your body, which then obviously it's an energy thing. So the way the dopamine is going through your body, oxygen, this, that, and the other, your energy lighting up even more. And things do change when you start applying all of these kind of things, you know. So it's a healthy, definitely a healthy way. Yeah.
Most definitely, and you know, making my transition, I was quite a skinny kid. I was quite, you know, bare bones, and I always wanted to be bigger. I never wanted to be like the biggest guy in the room because that's not what I've ever aimed to be. But I always wanted to be fitter and healthier, you know, and help me in my sports. At the time was football. So for me, that I went into the gym with that mentality: physical improvement. How can I get stronger? How can I get quicker? How can I get? But then I started to realize that, whoa, I used to come back from the gym and I used to feel, whoa, like I feel really calm. I feel really happy and I feel at peace. I feel, you know, being 17, 18, 19, you know, sometimes you don't feel proud to be in your skin. And it may not even be anything that you're doing, but you're just transitioning. Where you're not quite the man you want to be, but you're still trying to figure it out. But being in the gym for me gave me that crystal clarity that I'm one of them people that even when my back's against the wall, I'm still try to push forward, you know. And I think the gym can show you that. And that mental, you know, it helped me cross a lot of mental barriers, you know, and also a lot of mental battles that I was facing, you know, because right around the time where I did start gym, you know, I'd lost my father at that time, you know, and it was a way of me kind of, you know, letting go of some of the stuff that I was feeling in there, you know. And I think I owe a lot to who I am today, as cliche as this may sound, to being in the Iron Room, you know, to being.
How did you? Sorry, when you're.
I had just turned 17, maybe a month.
So
after.
you was a man, more or less. You can understand what is going on.
I was a child.
No, I think it was 17.
I was a child.
Bloody,
I was a child.
Brother.
My brain was a child.
What? Yeah, but you had feet.
No,
like
I
17.
think like you was fully aware of.
Oh,
what
yeah,
was
yeah,
going on
yeah,
in
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Come on, man. 17. I'm not doing mad things at 17, but I'm talking about you as aware of what going on, like with your feelings, like someone passed away. Do you understand that you was in tune?
Yeah.
You wasn't.
You weren't a child, like not knowing, like
no,
the significance of what's happened.
You know what I
You're
mean?
old enough to understand
You
it.
didn't
Like,
have disabilities not to know that. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You was fully aware, like, whoa, this is what's really going on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and at that age, because you are fully aware as well, you're still young, like you're saying. So it's a bit mad, isn't it? Like you're at a young age, innit?
of awareness, because at those ages you're aware, innit? It's not like you're 2-year-old. Even a 2-year-old still aware of minimal things, but that's
even like a kid that's like 5, 6, 7.
Do you know what I mean?
They still can like do you know what I mean? Maybe not grasp what's going on, but you would have fully grasped what's
The minute
going on,
from
innit?
10, 11, brother, you're grasping what going on. I still remember what going from 10, 11. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, but you was 17, my brother.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, like
We
you
can't
would
just-
have,
we can't just brush that.
you would have gone through school by that point there.
You would
Yeah,
have been in
I was-
college.
Do you know what I mean?
I was on my way to university.
That's what
Oh,
I
you
mean.
used to go to uni?
That year I would have turned 18, gone university.
So you went and done sixth form in school?
Yeah, no, I did college. I went college.
Oh, you went college?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that year I would have gone uni, like that September. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Would have. So,
Yeah.
you,
So my
so
father
you didn't
passed.
go uni?
My father passed in
No, he did.
Oh, you did?
July. I would have gone that September. I would have gone uni, but I didn't. I stayed back.
So what was life like at 17? And I want, do you know what it is, my brother? My bro, because at 17, man's fully aware. I want the realness of inside. Because, brother, 17, that, blood, man. What is your feelings like at that time, if you can really, like, how did you, like, what went on for you, like, at that time?
Because you got a little sister as well, so like, you know, like that as well, like that would have played a part of how you feel,
Yeah.
innit? Do you know what I mean?
Even if it's not so much pain for yourself, but like Uncle Mez said, like, you've got a sister, so you're a caring, loving guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, so your pain would not just be for yourself, but your mom, your sister. You know that you're fat.
Your sister, especially, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't want to put words into your mouth.
Yeah.
I just want to hear what things were like for you, my bro.
I can give you like a rundown. I can give you, because I'm at a point now where I'm able to talk about it and not, you know, and feel.
I know I'll put you on the spot. I know, I'm sorry, my brother, man. Yeah, but this is what I do. This is what I do.
Yeah.
You know, then one day, that's my job. That's what I do, my brother.
Yeah, that moment, you know, having to say goodbye and then walking out. You were there that day, weren't you? In the hospital. It was like, it was being told, okay, you have to be a man, when you wasn't yet ready to let go of being a son. And my dad was a good man, you know, and I never want to take that away from him. And even if I was 1% of the man he was, I lived a very good life. My dad was pure. He didn't really, you know, he didn't really have hatred. He didn't really have anger. He didn't really ever want to hurt anybody. You know, he was on his own grind. You know, he always worked hard. You knew, my dad always worked
So all
hard.
he did was work, really.
Just
innit?
work.
Like, it was just always working.
Worked, and he never complained. In my 17 years of being around my father, I never heard him complain about nothing. If he was ill, go on with it. Woke us up. If he was tired, you know, and that was a bullet to the heart. One that I'm able to talk about, but one I'm still healing from to this day. And it's been so many years now. Because
My bro, sorry for putting you on
Nah,
the spot,
it's all good.
man.
No.
Come on, man.
I always say to people when they ask me about it, I just wasn't ready to let go of being his son. And I always wanted to make my dad proud. Because I never wanted him to look at me and be like, damn, like, what could have been? Now I wanted to show him that I wanted to be more than what anybody could ever see of me, you know? And natural. You, as a son, you want your father to put his hand on your back and say, well done. That was your time
At
to leave.
17, you still got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff to go through, man.
And it was hard. It was so hard because no one at that time understood. Because everyone was there for my mum. She lost the love of her life. 100%, I understood that. Everyone comforted my sister because she was a baby. I was kind of...
You was expected to be the man, like be the adult, grown up. Like,
Do you remember the day of his funeral? And do you remember where we had to stand?
Yeah,
And people were and they're hugging us. The amount of people that said to me, "It's your turn to be the man of the house," and I was frightening, because
with
I
that
didn't know
many
what that
people
meant.
there.
Yeah?
Yeah, with that many people
Yeah.
there as well.
every time somebody hugged me, oh, you're the man of the house now, and I was frightening because I was just a boy. Like I had, you know, I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know like how to react. Like frightened. I was frightened of life. Like I came home that night and I just thought, like, what am I gonna do? Like I felt like I'm gonna have to fill in shoes that were way too big and way too pure for me, and it hurt because I was angry at my dad. I was angry for a long time because I was angry at him. I was like, you left me, like, you didn't even teach me. Like, there were so many things he had to teach me and he didn't teach me. And I held anger towards him. And, you know, I look back at it now and I think I'll always apologize.
My brother, I just want to hug you right now. I'm being real, my brother. You see what you're saying right now, my brother? I swear my body's feeling mad. No? Brother. Go on,
and I feel like you probably have that same thing where you probably felt that, right? When obviously your father passing away.
Yeah, definitely.
Even being at your age, you probably felt that anger, that why have you left me kind of thing.
Yeah, I never kind of felt anger to that point because I kind of got like, this is why I'm saying for you it's still very different. You know, because you were 17, you had so many things to go through in life where your dad would have played such a big part at that moment. You see, like me being the person that I am, I had that moment with my dad. Do you understand? And this is on my son's life. He might even be watching this. I said it to my son on Sunday when we was coming for football. Yeah. And I was talking to him and I said to him, what was we talking about? I think it was a song or something. Like my dad used to play a song or something like that. Well, Rian used to play a song. And my dad used to always say, it was like a Roddy Rich tune, yeah, when he says that blacka in it, yeah. So Rian used to listen to that and say it all the time. So my dad used to say to him, innit, what's that blacka? Turn that blacka thing off, yeah. So we was joking about it, innit. So I just said to Rian, I was like, you know what, Rian, I'm so glad that Bappa got to meet you, you know that. I was like, do you remember Bappa, yeah? He was like, of course I remember Bappa. I was like, you won't forget him, will you? He goes, nah, I won't forget him. Do you understand? I was like, you know what, Bappa loved you so much, do you get me? And it like, that's what I mean. So I don't like, don't get me wrong, there are things that I want to achieve in life still where I wish I had my dad there for it, yeah. But I'm content with, like I said, having like my dad there for that. Do you understand? But I still did feel like, yo, you left me. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Especially with like certain things. Especially with like certain things that have happened since he's been gone, you know, that's where like I've really felt like, yo, like you left, man, you get me, like to deal with all of this, like, do you get me, like
100%,
you know, like my mum's still here, so it's cool. Otherwise, bro, I don't know if, you know, if thank God my mum's still sat here, because you see, if my mum wasn't still sat here, on this planet, I don't know, like, man would have been moving very, very different with what's been going on in my life, you get me? Which obviously you kind of a little bit aware of. Yeah. Do you understand? But I'm not about to sit here and talk about all of that. So I just want to, like, you get me? But going back to the parents thing, like, you still, like I said, I understand, you know. I can understand you being a bit angry like that.
And then, so, 2021, fast forward. So during my house, there's two sofas, right? There's one sofa that my dad sat on, and I hadn't sat on it ever since he passed. I wouldn't go sit near it, and it was 2020, it was my birthday. And then my mum grabbed me and she said, sit there. And I said, no, I don't want to sit. It was on my birthday. She said, no, sit here. And then I sat down and I just started bawling. I bawled for a while. I cried. And I always felt like I wasn't allowed to sit there because I felt like I hadn't done anything to sit there, right? And for some people, they would think it's just a sofa, sit down. To me, it was deeper than that.
No, man, it's
that was his chair.
That
was his chair.
That was his chair.
Yeah.
And when I sat there and I cried, and you could still see his head, because he used to, like, where he used to sit, he's got like that sofa's got a permanent dent of his head.
Little imprint.
Yeah. And then I kissed it and I said, Dad, I'm so sorry for ever being angry at you, and I'm so sorry if I ever let you down, and from this time till now, I just want to my goal in life, if I ever say I have one, it's just to be 1% of the man he was.
Yeah, no, man, he'll be proud of you, man.
Um,
He'll be proud of you, bro. Come on, man. You know, listen, you know what our family's like. Do you understand? You know exactly how we've been raised. You know exactly where we come from. None of us are angels. Your dad seen exactly how man was. Your dad came from India and he was in St. Refs, bro. He knows exactly what the ends is about. Do you understand? He lived there, worked there. He worked in Wembley, bro, for how many years? Do you understand what I'm saying? So, to see exactly how life could have been, yeah, your dad's definitely proud of you, bro. Your mum's proud of you. Your sister's proud of you. Your family's proud of you. Do you understand? Everyone that's in our family will look at you and be proud of you because we know what we, like, who we are and what we come from. Do you get me? So don't ever feel like, you know, like, if I could only. You've already done that. You've already achieved that 1%. Do you know what I mean? So
Thank you.
just keep striving and achieve 100% of, you know what I mean, of what your dad was, man.
Appreciate that. That genuinely means a lot for you saying that. And I think I came to a realization. I think I might have said this to you. I said I had it all wrong. I had it all wrong. I was always kind of, how am I going to fit with his shoes? How am I going to fill his shoes? I came to a realization that it's not about me filling his shoes, but it was about filling my own and leaving a legacy of my own. Now, I love my dad. I love my mum, but I'm not my dad, nor am I my mum. I'm not even my sister. I'm me. So that means now I have to create
100%.
my own story, my own legacy, my own, you know. I always say to people, if you're going to create a story, you have to finish it. So this is me now finishing my story, whatever the story is. It has so many more chapters, so many more ups and downs, but, you know, creating my own legacy is just as important. Just like you lot do now. It's just a brand new chapter for you. This is just a brand new chapter for you.
But I think you, like, most people will get to that age and then kind of realize, like you said, you know, if you've got a good role model, a father as a good role model, and you looked up to your father and you want to be like him, I think that's normal to be like that until you kind of discover who you are. Do you understand? Once you discover who you are, you love taking the accolades that you know that are in you from your dad, but then you kind of then start utilizing your own accolades that you've built up and that you've crafted or that you've kind of, do you know what I mean?
100%,
So
100%. So
that's where you are.
and that's why now, like, even with like the stuff I'm doing, like in terms of like creating content, making TikToks, and, you know, putting my hat out
I
there.
see you, man. Make sure you lot follow the TikTok.
I appreciate it.
So
It's I miss Rico, and then you got a little underscore at the end. Hopefully, getting rid of that underscore soon and getting the account. It's just I miss Rico, but for now, it's a little underscore at the end. But yeah, and putting my name in many different hats. I think it's the journey, you know, for me. And a little like side message to anybody that's doing anything in life, like, keep at it. Like, I always read this every day. Like, I read it all the time, or I read it in different forms. It's like, slow motion is better than no motion. Like, whatever you're doing, like, there's gonna be some times. Like, even me, I'm not even like made it big on content creation. Like, okay, I've got a couple videos that have hit like 700, 400k, 500k, whatever. Yeah,
I've seen a big good.
Yeah.
You've hit some numbers.
Yeah. So, but that's in retrospect.
In the grand scheme
Yeah,
of
yeah.
things, it's nothing.
And whatever you're doing, like, slow motion is better than no motion. Keep doing what you're doing, and I promise you, it will work out. Like, if you never give up at anything you lot do, even with like these lot, for example, like they've been pushing out this stuff. This Uncle Mez and Larry show has been in the works for
a while,
but they never stopped. They never stopped, and they kept on doing. They kept on trying to figure it out, and I think that's a testament to just of, you know, just grinding and figuring out that slow progress is better than no progress, you know. And you never know when your time might come. It might even be tomorrow. We might all blow up tomorrow. You might be the biggest TikToker tomorrow, right? You live, you may be on a live with whoever tomorrow.
My brother, you see what you're saying? It's 100% true.
Exactly.
You know them on there? Because you never know.
Exactly.
You know, so
But
if you're not in it, you can't win it.
You know what?
And
You gotta be in it to win it.
if you never give up, you never lose. There is no loss in never giving up, because all
like
you have to
that.
do is wake up and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, if you never give up, you never lose. I like
Exactly.
that still.
And like, there is no way, and I think these lot will tell you as well. There's no speed bump, no hurdle, no obstacle in life that's too big that you can't overcome.
No, I feel like I still feel like a spring chicken, mate.
Yeah,
I know I might not look like it,
yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Like-
I feel like I can do whatever I feel like I want.
Like, let's give our props to Uncle Larry. Like Uncle Larry was in the dark for 13.
Yeah.
For 13, in the dark for 13, and he still had a light inside here that said, as soon as that door opens and I can see light, I'm running. And you've been running ever since.
You know what it is, my brother?
Uh,
I'll tell you something.
Go on.
Because obviously a lot of people gonna watch this. A lot of people know, man, from jail, etc., etc., etc. My brother, I opened the light from in jail.
There you go.
I used to have older men come up to man, like old men, like in their 70s, 80s, come to me say, brother, you're shining your wings too bright right now. Not yet. Just hold it. But I don't know. It's just all these books man was reading just made man just open the light book. You know them one day, like my brother achieved things before I even achieved it. But yeah, my bro, man, I hear what you're saying, man.
It's when you know certain things, like what you said. You used to read books, innit?
Yeah, man.
So when you start reading books and the brain is mad.
The brain's mad.
You see, when you start reading books and you start digesting certain things, you sleep on that, and then you don't understand how your brain is digesting that, and then you start having a mad understanding of certain things and things that are going on around you without even knowing. It's because you took it in.
Like, without even knowing, you can, like, for example, you see me, my brother, yeah? I can just look at something and it's like the Matrix, man, no. I can just look at man and know. I say, I know. I don't know what, but there's people that's going to watch this that know exactly what man's talking about. And you just know. Like, you don't know how you know, but you know.
Fact.
But you just keep your and be humble, and you just
Fact.
yeah. But
Is it wrap up time? No.
yeah, we're gonna be.
No,
wrapping
we'll
up.
be-
I've got a question.
We're gonna be wrapping up, but go on, answer the
We'll,
question.
we'll be in a minute.
Yeah, go on.
So yeah, man, whatever questions you got, get them in now.
I've got two
man.
questions.
You answer
Two.
two questions.
Is that cool for two questions?
Yeah. Go on.
So, question number one, and it's
Who's
both
it
of
for?
you.
Oh, to
Both of you. Both
Yeah,
of you.
yeah,
You can-
go on, man.
But I want to hear both your answers.
Go on.
I'm only 3, right? And I feel like the next journey of my life is probably right around the corner. I feel like I'm probably going to be knocking on some doors very, very soon, right? By design.
Yeah.
How do you know, or how do you lot know, what advice could you give to maybe a 23, 22, 21-year-old, 24, 25, that while you're going through your hustle, I would say I'm hustling at the moment, you know, trying to, like we said, put our names in different hats. How do you know through your hustle that you still have an opportunity to still find a good woman in that? Because we're in a society now where they say, don't be in no relationship, you don't keep women away because they're gonna mess up the grind, whatever. It's that stereotypical way of thinking. What's yours?
My brother, do you know what it is, my
Just
brother?
go back home and grab it up.
Go on. Honestly though.
Yeah, honestly, my brother, do you know what it is, my brother? Women are like this. It's either you got a scorn,
What's that?
like a demon. Yeah, you got a gal that's scorned, or you got a gal that's proper.
Yeah.
And it's out of this deciphering what is what. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Kyle.
And that's what it is, my brother. You see, gal, it's either good for you or bad for you. Do you understand? Like, again, I'm going to say it. It's either she's scorned and it can ruin you, or she'll be the best version of you and everything will be beautiful and it will just lift up, my
Blossom.
bro.
What advice would you give to somebody that's hustling right now, but is
But
you know,
hustling in what way?
on their grind, whatever their grind is.
Whatever, yeah. Go
Yeah,
on.
whatever their grind
Whatever
is,
the
you know,
grind,
you can never diminish any grind, right? You know, and they're in that situation where, you know, maybe there could be a woman in their life, or maybe, you know, that's a conversation that could be having. What advice would you give them to that? You know,
I'd say, blood. I don't know, blood. You know what it is? You see what it is with me, my brother, yeah? Like, I'm just different, blood. Like, you know, Logan's already laughing. You see me, my brother, yeah? My brother, I'm just me, blood. I'm just living for the moment right now. Do you understand? Because tomorrow's not promised to nobody, my brother. So man, do you know what it is, my brother? I don't want to reach old times. If I get to the old times, as an old man and be there like,
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
oh man,
I wish.
man, no, my wing don't stand up, and you understand, man, the fun's good. You understand? I want to be able to sit on my dying bed, laying there, and be like, you know what? I live my life the best. God, baby girl,
Take me.
I'm gone.
Who you think
I'm
you
gone
are?
comfortably.
Vibes cartel or something.
I'm gone
Baby, kiss me.
Baby, give me a kiss. God, you know what I mean?
What's your?
Me. So ask me the question quickly again.
Okay, so
I forgot what it
question
was.
is so.
But keep it PG.
Yeah.
What? So as to person.
How to find a girl in the while you're hustling and how to
Or
in the
how do you
climate
know you
we
got a
live in.
good woman?
How do you know you got a good one?
Or
If
how,
you've got
how do you
one.
find one?
How'd you find one?
Because remember, when the society
You know what it
also,
is? Listen, look. You'll find one. You'll find one, yeah. According to who you are, innit? Do you understand? So the life that you're living right now, yeah, you'll find someone along that will fit you, innit? Do you understand? But if you don't, yeah, and you find somebody who's outside, that's gonna be a hard battle. Do you know why? Because they're not gonna be into the things you're into, yeah. They're not gonna, whatever it is. Like, say if you're, it's like he's doing social media and stuff like that, yeah. Say if you've got a partner that don't do social media, she might not even use social media, let alone be on it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But let's just say she is or whatever, just for her personal type of stuff and that. She's gonna know exactly what social media is. So now, if you've got a girl that don't come from that world, you haven't met her in that world, that's gonna be hard, bro. Yeah, that's gonna be a battle. Do you understand? And it's not a bad thing, or that's not to say like anyone's in the wrong. It's just then you're just coming from two different worlds then, isn't it? Do you understand? Like most people will go to college, like, you know, and they meet a girl at college because they're doing this course. Some people might go to work and they meet a colleague and they work in the same field. Some people might be artists, they go to studios, they meet each other, they're in the same field. So this is what I mean, like, you know, someone might be an artist, someone might be a photographer, but they're still in the same sort of field. So they will understand one another, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if you're an office worker, office workers understand one another. So they understand what your life consists of and the groups you're around and the things you do. So that's what it is, bro. It's about finding a balance of what you like and what you want to do.
Balance in the dark, me. As long as you don't go the other way, Rico. I'm on my brother.
Don't join the Day Dem crew.
He's always there for you. Why for that? He's always there for you.
But listen, we're going to have to wrap it up now because
Rico.
we've gone over our little hour slot in that. So we're trying to keep it under an hour, but a little bit over is not a problem. So that just means we had a good little chat.
Most definitely.
But no, thank you for coming down, man. We appreciate you. And
got to do a part 2.
we will do, man. Once you've done a bit more, you know, we'll definitely do a part 2. But yeah, man.
Hey, blood, what you modelling though? Panties?
Me?
Yeah, what you modelling? What you modelling real quickly? What you model?
I do a whole bunch of things. I do clothing. If you don't see me, I was on CP Company not that long ago.
Okay.
I was on ASOS. You know, so a few different places. You know, at the moment, I'm trying to build up my portfolio. So,
my brother, listen, you're trying to build up your portfolio. We're probably gonna help you, but this is gonna be off
Most definitely.
the you understand? Because my brother, we're in that field. My brother, you see. So you understand? I think I got something in mind for you.
Cool.
My people, listen, man. I appreciate you lot for watching the Uncle Mez and Larry show. Listen, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give Rico a follow. There's Rico Fitness. What other platform?
I miss Rico _.
I miss Rico _. That's on TikTok.
Yeah.
I miss Rico
if you put,
_
like,
TikTok.
The edit here in like
In your hand, put it in your hand.
Yeah, there you
Alright,
go.
we'll
All
put
the
it in his
socials.
hand, yeah?
There you
In
go.
a bit. Bow.
Yes.
Next season, watch it. Boom.